Hey guys, and welcome to the final part of the Sonic Unleashed playthrough, and the world is puking purple. The Saints Row gang have invaded.
The ultimate graffiti.
Graffiti is art, man!
Holy shit, what is this? I've never seen this before.
You would think these people would react this way at the very beginning when the world is shattered.
Nah, as soon as they see a purple sky, that's when shit's going down.
Oh, don't you hate this as well? When it plays one cutscene, then it has to load another one. Why can't it just go straight to the next?
It's not as bad as Sonic 06, where it like brings up the title of like the mission you're about to play, and then it cuts to the person that like explains what to do.
Only to be loaded in the mission itself afterwards. The Beast from Beauty and the Beast? Plunged into the dark of night, the dark of destruction.
That's a lot of these.
Maybe they were trying to make a nursery rhyme using... How many D words can we use? Hey, look, there's Grumpy back there. Remember we talked to him?
Oh, yeah.
The one who does the rug business. How is your rug business going to do with the purple sky like that? It won't show the colours right. Here we go, Supersonic time.
It's kind of like just ruining the surprise that Supersonic's coming back, isn't it?
Well, not really, because then he was in the opening cutscene.
Yeah, but then like you think like he'd maybe do something a wee bit different this time.
Okay, what have you got this time, Gaia?
Yep, they put this in a kid's game.
Well, at least they made it green blood instead of red. Now he can see everything. Holy shit, 7 eyes and 2 tons.
That's really necessary, isn't it?
I hate to imagine what... Well, no. Light Gaia would probably be the opposite of that, wouldn't it? But then again, he's already made a Temple Megazord, so... here we are, the 7 gems.
I'm going Dragon Ball Z style here.
So here's our true final boss, folks. Perfect Dark Gaia. Just
the
like...
2 tongues.
Yes, with those 2 lickety tons. And we also get the orchestral version of the vocal theme, Endless Possibilities.
This is your favourite song here, isn't it?
I like the vocal one, but it was nice to hear the vocal theme being orchestrated for the final boss. It put a smile on my face when I was playing this the first time. Like, it got me that exciting feeling when it builds up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it, actually? Considering that this is the second time that you would do this thing where we'll just take the main theme and orchestrate it for the final boss.
I do really like this version of it. In fact, I think I probably prefer it over the vocal version.
Okay, fair enough.
Although, you want to know one reason why I prefer this version over the vocal version?
No vocals?
Because the rampaging elephants are back in this version.
You do love those elephants, don't you? Right, what you have to do for this final boss is, while Chip is dealing with Perfect Dark Gaia, you have to disable the shield by headbutting these snake tentacles. So, but unlike most Supersonics, where you're determined by how many rings you now have a life bar.
That's quite different, isn't it?
Well, it makes you play a little bit Sonic a little bit longer. Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, this does not mean that when you beat this you can play as Supersonic in the regular levels. They didn't brought that feature back just yet.
No, you had to wait a couple more years for that.
Aye. And while Chip is unconscious for a bit, Dark Gaia will focus his attacks on you by throwing boulders at you, as I get hit by that, and also the big giant fuck you laser. Now I have to admit, when I was recording this is probably the fastest I've ever done this boss.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Personal record of mine, because I've never ever recalled doing it this fast before in my life. But the bad news is that when you beat this, it doesn't show you your rank at the end and it goes straight to the cutscene. If you care about the ranks, you have to go back and redo this boss again.
Could you imagine if like you did like really well on this the first time, but then you did absolutely shit the second time?
And there's no way the game will remind you of that. Right, all it is from here on now, folks, is QTEs. That's your final boss.
You know, I never noticed like how many QTEs are in this game.
There's a ton. Not the in my personal opinion, I think the worst is definitely the Resident Evil 6.
Is it really that bad?
Well, in terms of QTEs, yes, it is. You'll see when we do a future LP of it. But why the need for 4 extra hands as well? Right, I hope you like the square button, folks, because guess how many times you have to mash it? 60 times! Mash that square button!
Break your controller.
Well, not as bad as all those people that keep on saying about... Oh, what's that Banjo-Kazooie level that said it was been known to break the Nintendo 64 controllers? Canary Mary?
Is that it?
I think it was.
I've never really played Banjo-Kazooie before, so...
But apparently a lot of people are saying that button mashing is almost impossible. Booyah, he's done. Oh, we're just gonna stand here and watch him drastically fall because we want to see his agony and pain.
Look at all that blood.
And don't worry, it'll just melt. Now, if this was Iblis, it'd be like, oh no, I'm sinking into something I'm made of.
And then Silver like goes in a huff because he knows he'll be back.
Oh no, my ring meter's gone down. Fuck!
Magic.
Now, would you say he's unconscious or just dozing?
I'd say he's probably just dozing because like what could have like knocked him out unconscious?
Well, they did explain the Flash, and for the Flash's case, if he doesn't have a high metabolism of calories, he can collapse, which is why he needs to consume like 10,000 calories a day.
Just give Sonic some chili dogs and he'll be fine.
How'd you like that? The sky was completely pink and purple 7 minutes ago, and now it's back to normal.
And I bet everyone will forget all about it.
Yep. Oh, well, he's happy, that old fella. I don't get why it's giving you a map of the hub world when you're not going to be in the hub world. This is the ending.
Because it has nothing else to show.
Pretty bland look at Leia for a hub world, don't you think? Just a reverse J.
Yeah.
No, sorry, a J itself. Maybe it should have been called Jamar. How can you see through those eyebrows, Professor?
He can sense it with his nose.
I would imagine they would add a nose physics to that nose like Luigi. Oh, I wish the mod did that. Pickle Unleashed mod did that. When you run, the nose bounces up and down. Speaking of which, they actually added nose physics to Mario and Odyssey.
Have they? They added nose physics?
Aye, the nose goes all over the place. Yeah, don't you think recently they've gone backwards with both Mario and Sonic in terms of the mobile games? It's Sonic Jump and Mario Run. You got it backwards!
I know, that is really weird, that, isn't it?
Even more proof that we want a Mario and Sonic crossover platformer, not minigames, Sega, Nintendo.
Well, they keep saying it's not going to work, but...
Just... you say that, but you don't even try. You can't...
I bet they haven't tried, they've just sat there and stared at it.
That's the thing about life. You can't just go ahead and say, oh, this will not work until you've tried it. If you tried it, then say it doesn't work. Fair enough. Because at least you've tried to and see if it worked. And as we repeat in the same three-word sentence again. Now, this is supposed to that cutscene there was supposed to show that the last continent's fallen back into place, but it doesn't. It wasn't moving at all. Just besides the dust.
Chip's a ghost now.
Well, it's his job to go back into the core now, because he's like Gaia. You will go to my chippy. Get me a sausage supper.
And make some big profits.
How can I get you a chippy? You're dead. Oh, goodbye. And that's the last time we'll see Chip.
Good.
What, you hated him?
Nah, I don't hate him, but like it's weird how they have like such an important character and then he's just gone.
I recall they tried that with Shadow actually in Adventure 2. He was originally supposed to be a one-off character, but because he was so popular, they brought him back.
Could you imagine what the Sonic fanbase would be like if Shadow only existed for one game?
Then we wouldn't have bad games like Shadow the Hedgehog. And we all know that Lee. Do you remember back in our Generations playthrough, Colin, that Lee apparently had a bizarre reason for hating Chip?
What did they say again?
I can't recall, but all I remember was, "Oh, I hate that bastard, hate that bastard." And you know, Lee doesn't give a detailed analysis as to why. He just says it for the sake of saying it.
You know, Sonic must like really have a weird face structure, like if he keeps slamming on his face.
Oh, that's right, actually. He does it twice here, and then he did it again in Black Knight, if I recall.
And it happens to him in Sonic Adventure as well, like, you know, when you see him like falling down onto the beach.
I remember that, with that really weird sound effect and a random girl just standing there watching him. Yeah, doesn't that look like the bounce bracelet?
A wee bit.
There you go, there's your conspiracy theories. The bounce bracelet was from Chip the entire time. Yeah, I'll just put this on my wrist, even though we don't see it in the future games.
He sold it off on eBay.
For one ring. And that is it, folks. That is Unleashed complete. And here's the vocal theme, Endless Possibilities.
And Tails, how did you survive?
He probably went into space and then, because no gravity there, he probably fixed up the plane. Because we all know Sonic characters can survive in space.
Somehow. They can survive in space, but not in water.
So what's your opinion on this theme then?
It's alright. Like I think I said in a previous part, like it's not one I really think of the most, but like whenever I think of Sonic Unleashed, this is like the first sort of song that comes to my mind. I know that you really like this song.
I do. I said before that I think this song summarizes the character of Sonic personally and perfectly. Like he's saying, like some of the lyrics will be like, "This is my escape. I'm running through this world. And I'm not looking back." Because Sonic has been known to not stay in one place for a while. He always wants to keep on moving. But what do you personally think is your personal choice for a Sonic theme for him as a character?
Well, I do like the adventure themes.
Just Sonic specifically?
Yeah.
No,
Wait, when did Sonic, Tails, and Chip take that selfie for the game?
I think this is just like a comedy thing, you know, because they have that camera around and to represent. Look at that face.
He's having an orgasm.
But that the reason that maybe they instead of just using that camera that the professor gave him to on what's that word? Exorcist people?
Exorcist.
Exorcist people out of the demons from inside them. They probably thought, let's take this as a holiday. I mean, would you do the same thing if you had a camera? Take some snapshots?
Take some snapshots while the world's like just ending.
Oh yeah, sure, the world is falling apart, but we could still enjoy this, can't we? Takashi Iizuka. The man behind everything.
It's Chip's ass.
Why is he hiding away from?
It kind of looks like Sonic's in the background over there.
He's probably talking to some neighbours then. Who the is that fucking bastard again?
Look at Chip's face there.
Not as bad. No, the worst is the best is when he had that face when looking at the ice cream.
Oh yeah. Someone needs to like Photoshop like that face and like put him in like a porno theater or something like that.
And we'll not take that any further in that dirty mind of yours, Colin.
So what's that? A tomato?
That's a tomato and a cheese.
And what the fuck are these? And is this a tomato?
Oh, those Scottish stone meal outfits are never gonna get old. So, overall, So to summarize up our opinions of Unleashed, how about you go on, Colin, since you've had the same experience as I had?
I really liked the game like when it first came out. Like I still like really think like it has like a lot of effort put into it, and it has like a lot of potential as well. I can see why like a lot of people like hate the werehog, and like that sort of like hindered it in a way. But like, I don't think it's one of the bad Sonic games. I think like it's definitely like the start of like when the Sonic games were starting to get good again. Like it was definitely like the sort of step in the right direction, especially with the daylight stages. But like when people say that like this is like one of the bad Sonic games, like, I have to like disagree with them there. Like there are like some things that are like quite annoying, like particularly the werehog, but I wouldn't really say it's a bad game. Like what do you think?
I have to agree with what you said, actually. I mean, like, I personally enjoyed it more than I probably enjoyed it more than you did, but that's only because I personally don't mind the werehog, but I will agree that it was completely unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all it did was just pad the game longer. I mean, this just goes to show you, like I said, this was a starting stone for what would come afterwards, like colors and generations, which would expand upon the daytime style gameplay. And, like the way, like obviously this is a good starting point, but they would finalize on that and say, okay, what happened? Let's look at the scores. Okay, a lot of people like the daytime Sonic, so it just goes to show that, like we should just do that because that's what people most like. Because they originally, what they originally said is the reason why they added the werehog is that they said that without the werehog it would have been like a 2 to 3 hour long game, and they didn't want to charge full price for it considering the length of it.
Yeah,
that's understandable, but as it's proven, people don't care about the length as long as the gameplay is fun. And I think Unleashed, half of it is fun. The werehog, alright, but unnecessary. But one thing they need to fix is that fucking battle theme.
I know, like, I think like the werehog would be more tolerable if they had like different variations of like maybe the theme, like depending on which area that you were in.
Mm-hmm. And again, another positive of this, without a doubt, do I need to say it? You say it for me.
The soundtrack.
Of course, the soundtrack is amazing.
Did I just see a picture of Chip taking a picture while he was getting his picture taken?
Speaking of which, have you ever seen when they advertised that short film, Sonic Night of the Werehog?
Yeah, I remember that.
What did you make of that?
I really liked it. Like, it showed that like Sega were like really like having fun like when making this game. Like they put like a lot of promotion into it as well, and like I loved like how well animated it was. Like it could have been like a
Pixar film.
Yeah, it could have been like a Pixar film. Like could you imagine like what a Sonic TV series would look like with that sort of animation?
I think it would work. I mean, it shows right here. Like you see, the citizens in the hub worlds are all based on Pixar, Disney-like designs, and yeah. I think it, with the character style of Sonic as he is today, it just fits well.
It's like with this like upcoming Sonic movie that's being made by Sony Pictures, that should have been like the animation style that they should go with. Like there's this whole rumor that like it's going to be like a hybrid between like live action and CGI, like the Smurfs movie.
Or Looney Tunes back in action.
But like they really should have went with like that sort of like art style that Unleashed used.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, understandably there's some bad things, but that doesn't mean that Unleashed should be shunned off because it's a quote unquote bad game. And here's the cast. This is when Jason Griffith got better as Sonic.
This is where like people thought he was like the best like bit of Sonic. Mm-hmm. Like this is where like he sort of like perfected it.
Yeah, I mean he sounded pretty high pitched in Sonic X when at the very beginning, but that was like 2003. There you go. Now I'm starting to feel hungry with that hamburger. But yeah, as for Griffith, I'd say he was good, but at the same time, you know, I don't mind Roger Craig Smith, the current voice actor of Sonic as of now, but I wouldn't mind if Griffith Griffith stayed a little bit longer, because I don't get that. Why would you keep someone who just gets better and better, and by the time they got better and nailed it, you send them off?
It's like, one thing I will say about Jason Griffith's like voice about Sonic, like I feel like he had too much of a laid back personality for someone who was supposed to be like someone with an attitude and like edgy and stuff like that. That's where I feel like kind of like Roger Craig Smith and Ryan Drummond's kind of like have an advantage over, because they sort of give him that sort of like attitude and edginess, while I feel like Jason Griffith kind of feels like he's like the sort of character that would like lay back in a hammock and just let all his problems like just float away.
But then again, you need to remember that it's not the voice actor's job about the character. It's basically them providing the voice for the director. There you go. I wouldn't eat that. Ugh, it's got slugs on it. Harry Potter, eat slugs.
It's like when Ron did that, is that like really the name of a spell, eat slugs?
Probably. You'd have to look on, you'll probably rock a Harry Potter wiki to find that out. Now this theme that's playing right here, it's called Dear My Friend from Brent Cash. Never heard of the guy, but this is a really nice song. It's basically to summarize the friendship between Sonic and Chip.
Tails is just crying in a corner somewhere. He's been shoved to the side.
Oh, there's good old Wintos, I forgot to show him off. Basically, he's just a random guy with a Chow puppet.
Yeah guys, like you Chow fans out there, there's your cameo appearance from a Chow.
And when you look at that, it's Sonic the Hedgehog eating noodles.
Do you imagine like working at a noodle stall or something like that, and then that like
Comes.
just appears? So I want some noodles.
That's the same for the citizens as well. Like they see him walking around their towns at night, and they're not freaked out by him at all. But anyway, what do you make of this song now, with the whole piano and symbolizing friendship?
It's sad.
What, in a bad way, or?
No, it's just like sad.
Well, I think some of the lyrics are somewhat believable if you had a really good friend, you know, someone you trust. Like some of the lines would be like, you can reach out, you can ask me, and I'll be there whenever you call me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be really good, especially if you've gone through a hard time and you need someone to support you. Heil Hitler! It's official. Eggman supports Hitler and Trump.
Did you know that Bezos supports capitalism?
What? When did you get this, from Super Mario RPG?
The Super Mario World cartoon show.
Oh, that one? Is that... I remember seeing one clip, it's like, do the Mario!
Yeah, that was the Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
Ugh.
Like there was like 3 Mario cartoons. Like one was kind of like based on the original and Super Mario Bros. 2, while the second cartoon was The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. Take a guess what game that's based off of.
As if it wasn't obvious enough.
And then there was a Super Mario World cartoon. Take a guess what that's based off of.
Look, Chip's not even happy about it. And now this last piece is obviously the orchestral theme of the game called World Adventure, and this is not synthesized, this is performed by an actual Japanese orchestra, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I really like this one.
I'd say this is probably better than Colors, but Colors just comes a tiny bit closer.
You
Just-
love colours.
Yeah. Oh, I love the colours, I love the colours, I love the colours. Right, well, that's the end of our Sonic Unleashed playthrough, folks. We hoped you've enjoyed this. Thank you all for the support that you've been given to this channel. It's been astonishing. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next LP.
Pleasant morning, wouldn't you say, Doctor? You can simply begin your plans anew. Even if all of your efforts this last time were utterly wasted, even if it was a complete and utter humiliating loss, even the most pathetic loser